Hey everyone, it's Jyclyn Krymowski with the Herd Book Ag Media, coming to give you your Moving Iron Ag News update. Hope y'all had a great week and an excellent National Ag Day, which was just this past Tuesday. In politics for this week, the U.S. House of Representatives recently passed a couple of bills that could provide more legal status for millions of currently undocumented immigrants. This measure would also cover a large number of current immigrant farm workers. The Farm Workforce Modernization Act of 2021, as the second bill is known, passed with a bipartisan vote of 247 to 174 and has been a talking point for the ag industry. Essentially, this would improve the H-2A temporary ag worker program and visa that currently requires employees to use the E-Verify system. And this would provide a better pathway for legal status for many of these farm workers. And this is getting a lot of attention from different ag groups. Some are positive, some not so much. Ones on board include National Milk Producers Federation, Western Growers, and the National Council for Farmer Cooperative. But some, including the American Farm Bureau Federation, are still having some concerns over how these wages could be calculated in light of this bill. And of course, over in the Senate, there is still discussion about introducing policies that could compensate farmers and ranchers for conservation efforts. Recently, Senator John Boozman of Arkansas said that some of these practices, that even if they are incentivizing farmers, could end up being too expensive for some producers to adopt. And this essentially does include the carbon bank that Vilsack and Joe Biden have both discussed. In fact, a panel of the online Food and Ag Policy Summit also noted this, that while carbon markets are technically a source of revenue, they do generate, at the moment, too little cash. For example, a subsidy of Land O'Lakes announced last month that Microsoft would pay a full $20 per ton of carbon sequestered via soil management and growing practices. And if this effort is successful and farmers do adopt, hopefully at not too high of a financial cost, this would make U.S. agriculture the very first in the world to achieve a potential net zero emissions of greenhouse gases. Make of that what you will. In other news, the ag world was recently rocked by the recent PAWS Act in Colorado, or the Protect Animals from Unnecessary Suffering and Exploitation Act. And this is an animal extremist move that would essentially criminalize some current on-farm husbandry practices, such as AI, palpation, and some other veterinary procedures. This was recently passed by the title board, and it will be, provided enough signatures are obtained, appearing on Colorado's ballot likely in the near future. Phosphate prices here in the U.S. are getting very high levels, some of those not seen since the year 2012. And likewise, anhydrous ammonia prices has also nearly doubled. Given some of the current political climates and issues with some phosphate imports, we could very likely expect to be seeing these type of fertilizer prices up through the rest of this year. And speaking of money and finances, Research and Markets recently announced that their report titled Global Farm Equipment Market Size, Trends, and Forecast for the years 2021 through 2025 was recently released. And this will provide an in-depth analysis of the whole global scale of farm equipment, as well as going into detailed descriptions about size, growth, etc. And it covers several mainstream manufacturers, including John Deere, CNH Industrial, Mahindra, and AGCO. All right, that was a mixed bag for this week, but it catches you up here as we look to closing out the month of March here in the near future. This Ag News Update was brought to you by the Herd Book Ag Media, serving all your agribusiness writing, communication, and media needs. Find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or our company website, the-herdbook.com. Let me know you found me here on Moving Iron, and you will get 20% off your first invoice.